Another by Yukito Ayatsuji was originally serialized between 2006 and 2009. But we'll be looking at the English hardback which collects the entire story. There is also an anime and manga adaptation, but we'll get to those another time. This review was made for those who know absolutely nothing about Another. As such, I won't be discussing the plot too deeply here to avoid spoilers, but I will be in future videos, especially in my review of Another episode S/0. For now, let this be an introduction, a taster if you will. The book opens with two unidentified students discussing the mystery of Misaki, a member of Class 3 at Yomiyami Middle School 26 years prior. He was a brilliant student and was well liked by his peers, until one day he died suddenly. Not wanting to believe that their beloved Misaki had met a tragic end so young, one student pointed to Misaki's desk and declared, "Misaki's not dead. Can't you see Misaki here? Misaki's alive, and right over there." Over the next few days, other students began to join in on this, and also declare that Misaki was still alive with them in the classroom, just as he had always been. Even the teacher eventually joined in. They kept this up until it was time for graduation. However, when they took the group photograph for that year, they noticed someone who couldn't possibly have been there. It was Misaki, with a pale face, smiling like everyone else. So if this spooky little introduction piqued your interest, you may be in for a treat reading Another. It is thoroughly rooted in that style of Japanese horror that favours atmosphere and mystery over scares. But let's dive a little deeper into the plot. We are introduced to Koichi Sakakibara, a transfer student to Yomiyama North Middle School, Class 3, who starts to feel uneasy when he realises that something isn't quite right. The other students in Class 3 are ill at ease, and it quickly becomes apparent that there is something they are hiding from him. Enter Mei Misaki, an aloof, eye-patch-clad girl who Sakakibara meets at the hospital, and, coincidentally, is also a member of Class 3, though no one but Sakakibara seems to acknowledge her presence. The mystery of Another is one of its main draws, and I wouldn't recommend reading any more into its plot. It plays on your expectations of the genre in a uniquely satisfying way. It isn't your stereotypical ghost story, as much as it pains me to spoil even that much of the plot. The pacing is brisk, and not a single page feels wasted. It's a slow burn, and I found the beginning to be slightly frustrating because of how intentionally vague the characters were being. I felt like shouting at the characters at some points for them to just explain what was going on, but the payoff more than makes up for these faults. While I'm not typically into the Rei Ayanami-like characters Mei Misaki seems to be inspired by, she is oddly likeable. Her budding friendship with a more relatable Sakakibara I find to be kind of sweet, and it keeps those moments where the plot isn't moving forward engaging. The supporting cast is also pretty good, with quite a few of them making a lasting impression with what little screen time they have. Another is an awesome book, and I would recommend it over the anime adaptation, that I felt was bogged down by unnecessary amounts of violence, and a lot of questionable soundtrack choices. Next week I'll be looking at the more recently released Another episode 0/S. See you later!